Vout 1 for the circuit 1. Similarly, what is the value of output 2 for the circuit 2? Four possible answers are given. Let us start analyzing the first circuit. In the first circuit, we have the NMOS transistor with gate voltage equal to 3 volt. The clue is the output voltage will be equal to VG minus VT, gate voltage minus threshold voltage. Gate voltage is 3 volt. As per the question, threshold voltage is 0.6 volt. So the output of the first NMOS is 3 minus 0.6, that is 2.4. So in this place, we have 2.4 volt as output. Now, this 2.4 volt is given as input for the second NMOS transistor. So for the second NMOS transistor, the gate voltage is 2.4 volt. The output of this transistor will be again the same equation, VG minus VT. So here we have 2.4. 2.4 minus 0.6, we will get 1.8 volt. The 1.8 volt will be charged into the capacitor. So the output of the circuit 1 will be equal to 1.8 volt. So we have completed 50% of the question. That is, for the first circuit, the output voltage is 1.8 volt. Now, the second circuit. Can any of you guess what is the output here for the second circuit? Can any of you send the answer through chat box? Using the equation VG minus VT. Please, all of you mute yourself. Give your answers through chat box. So in the circuit, the gate voltage for all the three NMOS transistors are the same 3 volt. That means if we take the output of the first transistor, the place V1, in the place V1, we will have 3 minus the gate voltage, that is 0.6. So 3 minus 0.6, here we have 2.4 volt. So the answer for V1 will be equal to 2.4 volt. Now, for the second NMOS transistor, the gate voltage is 3 volt. So 3 minus 0.6. V2 is also 2.4. It is not 1.8. That is the important thing to be noted. So V1 equal to 2.4. V2 is also 2.4 because the gate voltage is 3 volt. 3 minus 0.6, 2.4. Similarly, for the third NMOS transistor, the gate voltage is 3 volt minus 0.6. So here I will have 2.4. So for the circuit 2, the answer V1 equal to 2.4, V2 equal to 2.4. The final output voltage is also equal to 2.4. So the correct answer is 2.4 volt. So for the circuit 1, we got the answer as 1.8, and circuit 2, we got the answer as 2.4. So the correct answer is option C, 1.8 and 2.4. Next, this is the question asked in GATE 2018. In a PN junction diode at equilibrium, which one of the following statement is not true? 4 options are given. First, A, hole and electron diffusion current components are in the same direction. B, the hole and electron drift current components are in the same direction. C, on an average, holes and electron drift in opposite direction. D, on an average, electron drift and diffuse in the same direction. So we have to find which statement is not true. Now, if we check the first statement, the hole and electron diffusion current components are in same direction. That is correct. That is true statement. Similarly, B, hole and electron current components are in same direction. That is also true. On an average, holes and electron drift are in opposite direction. This is also true. Only the last statement, on an average, electron drift and diffuse in the same direction. That is the wrong answer. The question is to find the statement which is not true. So the answer is D. Next, another one interesting question from GATE 2016 question paper. In the circuit, two diodes are given, D1, D2. Both D1 and D2 are ideal, and capacitors are also identical capacitors. Another condition given is the product of RC is very large compared to the time period of AC voltage. Assuming that the diodes do not break down in the reverse bias, the output voltage V0 at steady state. So we want to calculate what is the output voltage across this resistor. So the value of V0 during the steady state, four answers are given, 1, 10, 0, and insufficient data. Let us analyze this circuit. In the circuit, the AC source will give both positive and negative half cycles, while D1 and D2 are getting positive half cycle. Both D1 and D2 are forward biased. So at the time when D1 is forward biased, this capacitor is charged to plus 10 volt. At the same time, when the D2 is forward biased, this capacitor is charged to 10 volt in the opposite direction. So the voltage stored at capacitor 1, the first capacitor, will be plus 10 volt. For the second capacitor, the polarity is in opposite but the same voltage, minus 10. The question is to calculate what is the output voltage across this resistor. The output voltage across this resistor is equal to the output voltage across this first point and the second point. So now we are calculating the output voltage across the first point and the second point, which is equal to 0 volt. So the answer is 0 volt at steady state. So C is the correct answer. Next, the question from GATE 2016 paper. The Ebers small model of a BJT is valid. Four options are given. A, only in active mode. B, only in active and saturation modes. C, only in active and cutoff modes. D, in active, saturation and cutoff modes. Can you send the answer through chat box? The correct answer is the Ebers small model of BJT is valid in active, saturation and cutoff modes. D is the correct answer. Next, another interesting question from GATE 2016 question paper. The diode in the figure has V on 0.7 volt. Otherwise, it is ideal. The magnitude of the current I2 in milliampere we want to calculate what is the value of current I2. I2 is the current flowing through the resistor R2, that is through 6 kilo ohm. And when the diode is on, the V on, that is for the diode to become on, it needs minimum 0.7 volt to become forward bias. This is the clue available in the question. Now let us calculate how to find the current I2 flowing through the resistor R2. Initially the diode is off. When the diode is off, that means we can assume that this part is open circuited. That means we have only R1 and R2 will be available in the circuit. When the diode is open circuited, what is the connection of R1 and R2? Can you send the answer through chat box? I have given the initial condition, the diode is off. So the diode is open circuited. Since the diode part is open circuited, what is the connection of R1 and R2? R1 and R2 will be in series. That means I can add 2 kilo ohm plus 6 kilo ohm. Totally, the total resistance becomes 8 kilo ohms. The supply voltage is 2 volt. So we can calculate the current I2. The supply voltage 2 divided by 8 kilo ohm. The current flowing through R1 and R2 are equal to 0.25 milliampere. Now you may have a doubt. While the current is flowing through the circuit, what is the voltage across this diode? The voltage across this diode will be equal to voltage across the resistor R1. We got the answer, the current flowing through R1 and R2 is equal to 0.25 milliampere. So the voltage across the resistor R1 will be equal to 2 kilo ohm multiplied by 0.25 milliampere. What is the answer? 2 kilo ohm multiplied by 0.25 milliampere. So 2 into 0.25, 0.5 kilo ohm and milliampere will be cancelled. So 0.5 volt. The voltage across the resistor is 0.5 volt. That means the potential difference across the diode is 0.5 volt. That means the diode will be still in off condition. So even the current 0.25 milliampere is flowing through the circuit, the diode is in off condition. So we can ensure that the current flowing through the circuit, particularly through R2, is equal to 0.25 milliampere. The correct answer is option A. This is another question asked in GATE 2016. A long channel NMOS transistor is biased in the linear region with VDS equal to 50 millivolt and is used as a resistance. Which one of the following statement is not correct? Option A, if the device with W is increased, resistance decreases. If the threshold voltage is reduced, the resistance decreases. If the device length L is increased, the resistance increases. If VGS is increased, the resistance increases. Which one is not correct? Can you send the answer through chat box? Now, for understanding the relationship between the parameters, the value of R, resistance, is given by the equation L divided by mu n C of W into VGS minus VT. The first option, device with W is increased, the resistance decreases. So if we increase the value of W, the resistance will decrease. So option A is correct answer. That is correct part. Then if the threshold voltage is reduced, resistance decreases. The threshold voltage reduced means VGS minus VT will increase. As a result, resistance will decrease. That is, B is also correct statement. Then C, if the device length L is increased, resistance increases. If we increase L, R will also increase. So statement C is also correct. The last statement, if VGS is increased, the resistance increases. If we increase VGS, actually the resistance R will decrease. So as per the question, we have to find the statement which is not correct. Statement A, B and C, the first three statements are correct. The fourth statement is not correct. So the answer is B. Another interesting question from GATE 2014 question paper. Two silicon diodes with a forward voltage drop of 0.7 volt are used in the circuit shown in the figure. The range of input voltage for which the output voltage V naught equal to VA. The question is, we have to find the condition during which the output voltage V naught will be equal to the input voltage Vi. Four possible answers are given. So we have to validate all the conditions. During one particular condition, the value of input voltage and the value of output voltage both will be equal. So what is that range of input voltage? We want to find it. Now, when input voltage is less than minus 1.7 volt, at that time the diode D1 will be on, forward biased, and D2 is off, reverse biased. As a result, the output voltage will be equal to minus 1.7 volt. When VA is greater than minus 2.7 volt, D1 is off and D2 is on. As a result, the output voltage will be equal to 2.7 volt. When the input voltage is greater than minus 1.7 and less than 2.7, only during this condition, both diode D1 and D2, both the diodes are off. If D1 is off and D2 is off, this path is open circuited. The next path is also open circuited. That means there is no effect of the voltage source minus 1 volt and 2 volt. I am repeating, during the condition 3, when the input voltage is greater than minus 1.7 and less than 2.7, the diode D1 is off, D2 is also off. Both are open circuited. There is no effect because of minus 1 volt and plus 2 volt voltage sources. That means the equivalent circuit will be something like this part is not available. Only we have the input voltage, resistance, output voltage. That means the output voltage will be simply equal to input voltage since the middle elements are open circuited. So we want to actually find the condition when the output voltage will be equal to input voltage. So after the analysis, we have verified that only during this condition, the output voltage will be exactly equal to input voltage. So the correct answer is D. So D is the value of VA greater than minus 1.7 volt and less than 2.7 volt. So during option D, the middle elements are open circuited. The output voltage is simply equal to input voltage. Another interesting question. from GATE 2014. In the following circuit employing past transistor logic, all NMOS transistors are identical with a threshold voltage of 1 volt. Ignoring the body effect, the output voltages at P, Q, and R we want to calculate. Already a similar circuit we have analyzed in the first question itself. I think most of you can answer the value of voltage at the point P, Q, and R through chat box. Already we have discussed that output voltage equal to Vg minus Vt, gate voltage minus threshold voltage. For the first NMOS, gate voltage is 5 volt minus threshold voltage is given as 1 volt. So 5 minus 1, 4 volt, again 5 minus 1, 4 volt, again 5 minus 1, 4 volt. So the voltage at P, the voltage at Q, the voltage at R, all the 3 points are 4 volt. So the correct answer is option C, 4 volt, 4 volt, 4 volt. Simple question, we can answer directly by applying this equation. Next interesting question. A Zener diode, when used in voltage stabilization circuits, is biased in option A, reverse bias region below the breakdown voltage, B, reverse breakdown region, C, forward bias region, D, forward bias constant current mode. The clue is voltage stabilization circuit means like a voltage regulator. For Zener diode, voltage remains constant in breakdown region and current carrying capacity is high. So we want to use it as voltage stabilization circuit. That means we want to keep the voltage as constant. So the answer is reverse breakdown region. Answer B. I think this question is discussed on yesterday itself. So all of you can answer. The circuit uses two ideal diodes. The input voltage is sine wave. What will be the output voltage across this resistor? 4 choices are given. Option A, B, C, and D. The previous diagram is redrawn for easy understanding by reversing these two terminals, output terminals. If we reverse these two output terminals, the minus will go up and plus will come down. This cross connection will become straight connection. So for easy understanding, we redraw the circuit, the same circuit. For the circuit, this is the input voltage, sinusoidal waveform. We want to calculate the output voltage. Option A, B, C, and D. You can give your answers in the chat box. It is discussed on yesterday also. During the positive pulse, both diodes are forward biased. When both the diodes are forward biased means the positive pulse is flowing through the resistor. But we are measuring the voltage, positive terminal in the bottom, negative in the top. That means the positive cycle will be measured as negative cycle during the first half, positive pulse. The output voltage is shown in the diagram. During negative pulse, both diodes are reverse biased. That means both diodes are becoming as open circuit. So there is no voltage. The output voltage is 0. So during the positive half cycle, I am getting the same positive half cycle in the resistor, but we are measuring the polarity in the reverse. This is because of the connection. Originally, the connection asked in the question is plus minus in this way, but for our simplicity, we have taken the equivalent circuit. So in the equivalent circuit, we have minus plus, that means whatever the waveform available across R, we are reading the voltage with reverse polarity. As a result, the positive half cycle appearing in the resistor is measured as negative half cycle. While the input is negative half cycle, there is no output. So the answer is C part. So this will be the waveform of this circuit output for the given input. Another interesting question, GATE 2015 question paper. The diode in the circuit given below has V on equal to 0.7 volt, but is ideal otherwise. The current in the 4 kilo ohm resistor in the unit of milliampere, we have to calculate. So the question is to calculate the current flowing through this 4 kilo ohm resistor for the given circuit. 4 options are given. We have to calculate. The easiest way is this 2 kilo ohm and 4 kilo ohm. That is 2K divided by 4K. Then this 3 kilo ohm and 6 kilo ohm. 3 kilo ohm divided by 6 kilo ohm. The ratio of 2 kilo ohm by 4 kilo ohm is equal to 3 kilo ohm by 6 kilo ohm. That means the bridge is balanced and hence no current will flow through the diode. That means when this ratio of 2 divided by 4 and 3 divided by 6 both are equal, we can say the bridge is balanced. So through the middle path, no current will flow. As a result, we can assume that the middle path containing the diode and 1 kilo ohm resistor both are open circuited. So if we assume this diode and 1 kilo ohm resistor are open circuited, what is the connection of 2 kilo ohm and 4 kilo ohm? I am repeating. This diode along with 1 kilo ohm resistor is assumed as open circuited. Now tell me what is the connection of 2 kilo ohm and 4 kilo ohm through chat box. After the middle path is eliminated, 2 kilo ohm and 4 kilo ohm will be in series. Similarly, this 3 kilo ohm and 6 kilo ohm will be in series. That equivalent circuit is shown here. This 2 and 4 in series taken as 6 kilo ohm. This 3 and 6 kilo ohm, which is considered as series, is taken as 9 kilo ohm. Now, as for the question, we want to calculate the current flowing through this 4 kilo ohm. Current flowing through this 4 kilo ohm resistor will be equal to the current flowing through the 6 kilo ohm resistor. So if we calculate the current flowing through this 6 kilo ohm resistor, that will be the answer for current flowing through 4 kilo ohm resistor. Both are same. So we have a current source. So we know the incoming current is 1 milliampere. We have two resistance available in parallel connection. So we can use the current division rule. The current division rule is the incoming current multiplied by opposite resistance. Opposite resistance is 9 kilo ohm divided by the sum of the two resistances, that is 6K plus 9K, which become 15K. So what will be the answer? The incoming current 1 milliampere multiplied by opposite resistance 9 kilo ohm divided by the sum of the two resistances 6 kilo ohm and 9 kilo ohm. The answer will be 0.6 milliampere. 0.6 milliampere is current flowing through this 6 kilo ohm resistance. That means the same current will flow through this 2 kilo ohm and 4 kilo ohm, 0.6 milliampere. So the current flowing through this 4 kilo ohm resistor is equal to 0.6 milliampere. So the answer is A. Next, another interesting question from GATE 2015 question paper. In the circuit shown, assume the diodes D1 and D2 are ideal. In the steady state condition, the average voltage VAB across the 0.5 microfarad capacitor is. We want to calculate what is the average voltage VAB across this 0.5 microfarad capacitor. 4 choices are given. Let us find it. During the positive half cycle, the diode D2 will be on. D2 will be forward biased. Since D2 is forward biased, D2 is on, the peak voltage at point A will be 50 volt. This is during the positive half cycle. During the negative half cycle, D1 will be on. D1 is forward biased. So at that time, the peak voltage at point B will be equal to minus 50. Now we want to calculate VAB. That is VA minus VB. VA equal to 50 volt. Peak voltage at point A is 50 volt. Peak voltage at point B is minus 50 volt. So VAB equal to VA minus VB. 50 minus minus 50. So VAB equal to 100 volt. Answer C is correct. So the correct answer is 100 volt. That is answer C. This is the question asked in GATE 2018. I am going to give this question alone. You can find the answer by yourself during afternoon time. The question is, the circuit shown in the figure is used to provide a regulated voltage 5 volt across the 1K resistor. So across the 1 kilo ohm resistor, we want 5 volt regulated output. Assume that Zener diode has a constant reverse breakdown voltage for a current range starting from minimum required Zener current IZ minimum 2 milliampere to its maximum allowable current. The input voltage V1 may vary by 5% from its nominal value of 6 volt. The resistance of diode in the breakdown region is negligible. The value of R and the minimum required power dissipation rating of the diode we have to calculate. So we have to calculate the value of R and power dissipation rating of the diode. These two parameters we want to calculate for the given conditions. I have not given the answer. I am leaving this question for you to practice during afternoon time. You can make a screenshot of this question now. However, the entire presentation will be sent to all the participants in the form of video at evening. Now we have one more question. I will take one extra question. This is another question asked in GATE 2019. Is the screen visible? In the circuit zone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the circuit zone, Vs is a square wave of period t with maximum and minimum values of 8 volt and minus 10 volt respectively. Assume that the diode is ideal and R1 equal to R2 equal to 50 ohms. We want to calculate what is the average value of VL. So I am repeating the question once again. Our objective is to calculate the voltage average value of VL. The input is square wave. The maximum value is plus 8 volt. Minimum value is minus 10 volt. The resistance R1 and R2 are equal to 50 ohms. We want to calculate VL. When Vs is positive, when Vs is positive, the diode is reverse biased. When Vs is positive, the diode is reverse biased. If the diode is reverse biased, we can assume the diode is open. This part is open. If this part is open, R1 and R2 will be in which connection? When the diode is open, the connection of R1 and R2 will be in series connection. We can see R1 and R2 as series. The value of R1 equal to 50 ohm. R2 is also 50 ohm. That means we want to calculate what is the voltage across R2. Since R1 and R2 are equal, no need to perform the calculation to calculate the value of the voltage across R2, which is measured as VL. The supply voltage will be exactly dividing into 2 half. So Vs will become Vs by 2 and Vs by 2. That means the supply voltage Vs during positive half cycle is plus 8 volt. So plus 8 volt will be divided as 4 volt and 4 volt since R1 and R2 are equal. Or if we use the calculation, Vs divided by R1 plus R2 will give the current. Current multiplied by R2 will give VL. So whatever the way we are calculating, we will get 4 volt. But no need to waste the time by using these equations and all. If the supply voltage is 8 volt, when two resistors are equal, I can say immediately the voltage across R1 is 4 volt, R2 is also 4 volt. So by seeing the circuit, by knowing the Vs is plus 8 volt, I can say directly the voltage across R2 is plus 4 volt. This is during the positive half cycle. Next, when the Vs is negative half cycle. When it is negative, when Vs is negative, the diode is forward biased. The diode is forward biased means as an ideal diode, we can assume the path is short circuited. If this path is short circuited, what will happen to R1? R1 is also short circuited. We have the equivalent circuit. The diode is short circuited, which also short circuits the R1. So this path becomes short circuit. Only R2 is available. So whatever the supply voltage is available, the same is available across the resistor R2. So the output voltage is minus 10 volt. So during the previous case, we have seen the output voltage is plus 4 volt. Now it is minus 10 volt. So the average value 4 plus minus 10 divided by 2 minus 3. So the answer is minus 3 volt. Thank you all. We stop with this and we will continue on tomorrow morning 11 a.m. Thank you once again.